Hi everybody, it's Beth Grimm again for Tasty Tuesdays. For those of you that know me from the JCC, I am somewhat known for my French toast. So today we're having breakfast for lunch, and so I'm going to make some French toast, and I'm going to share a couple of my secrets of why everybody thinks it's so great. Anyway, so we're going to start with eggs. Here at school, I use the liquid eggs, but you can use eggs that you get at the store. So if you're doing this at home, probably for a batch for, your family would probably use 4 or 5 eggs. So as soon as I get this carton open, I'm going to pour some, or maybe going to. So I'm going to pour some of the eggs in this bowl. And so that's probably about 4 eggs right there. So I'm going to do that, and then I got to come over here because I need to get some milk. And I use whole milk. It gives it kind of a richer flavor, but you can use whatever kind of milk you want, or you could use almond milk, or coconut milk, or low fat, whatever you want to use. So most of my recipes are kind of by sight, but you're just going to add a little bit of milk to the bowl.
What would you think if they're making it for a family of 4? So they put in their 4 eggs.
So you're going to put in your 4 eggs, and you'd probably put a half a cup of milk in.
Okay, great.
And then you're going to add some sugar, which also is why this tastes good. And you're going to add, well, you can add as much as you want, but I'm adding,
It's gonna be a really sweet batch.
So I'm adding about a half a cup.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add some cinnamon, and cinnamon is to taste, and so I'm just gonna sprinkle some in the bowl. It kind of looks like that. And then I have imitation vanilla. If you have real vanilla at home, it's a little stronger. So I'm going to just squeeze some in, which is going to be about a tablespoon. If you're doing real vanilla, you probably want to use a little less. And then you're just going to
whisk it all together.
Whisk it all together. And so we've got our batter going here. And then my biggest secret of all of this is that I make it in an electric skillet, which is right here, and I fry it, which is why it tastes good. So the other thing that makes the French toast really special is that I try to use challah or another egg type of bread or brioche. It's really going to make a difference in how it turns out. You can use whole wheat bread. You can use, you can use any bread that you want. But the reality is, it really tastes better when you use challah or a brioche or something that's got a lot of substance and egg in it. So I've cut some of my challah, and if I was at home, I would use butter here. I'm using a butter product. And I'm going to heat my skillet up and let that kind of get warm. And I'm going to move all of this out of the way.
Beth, you've been at the J for a really long time. What's your favorite thing about working here?
Well, there are lots of things. I think the biggest thing is our community. And the fact that not only have I watched kids grow up, but I've watched their kids grow up.
Yeah.
And have had many of them in my classrooms when I did have a classroom, and actually then had some of their children too. And my children grew up here, who are now old, and my grandchildren have been here, and so it's just been a sense of community and support and love, and I think that's the biggest reason why I've stayed as many years as I have.
That's so nice, Ms. Grimm. We love having you here.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for taking the time to teach our families how to make challah French toast. I'm excited.
It's my pleasure.
I wish they were all here to smell it. You can smell it in the whole entire JCC. It smells so good.
So I'm gonna dip my challah in, and then I kind of give it a little squeeze.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna stick that in the pan.
So you want it like soaked, but not like sopping?
Not sopping, because then you're gonna end up with scrambled eggs
Oh.
in your pan, kind of. So just kind of give it a little squeeze.
So if they don't have a skillet like this,
you can use
like a regular pan?
Right, you
Okay.
can use a regular pan on the stove. Again, the biggest trick about my French toast is it's kind of fried. Not deep fried, but it definitely is, is fried.
Gives it a little something.
So, so then I'm just gonna rinse this. You know, I've got gloves on. I don't want egg on everything. So I'm gonna rinse that off. And then when I cook this, I kind of take my spatula, and while it's really soft, I kind of make it into strips.
Ooh.
And that way it's easy for the kids to eat.
It's dippable.
It's dippable, and they kind of think that's fun.
So Beth, if someone wanted to make this, like, because this is like gourmet with challah, this is like fancy French toast to begin with. If they wanted to like zhuzh up their French toast, what's something they could add onto it? Like making their own whipped cream, or like,
oh, you can do all kinds of things.
what's something that they could do to fancy it up?
Sure, you could do whipped cream. You could do fresh strawberries on top of it, fresh fruit, a little bit of powdered sugar on the top. The other thing that I do sometimes, if you're gonna have, when we come out of this quarantine and you wanna have a big family gathering, is I do this in an overnight version. I make the batter exactly the same way, but the difference is I get a big pan and I melt butter to where it covers the bottom of the pan, and then I sprinkle brown sugar on the top of the butter. And then I dip my French toast, my bread, and put it in the pan, and then I pour the leftover batter on top of that, cover it up, and I put that in the refrigerator overnight. And then when you get up in the morning, you're gonna bake that at a 350 oven for about an hour, and the last 15 minutes you want to take the foil off and let that kind of brown on the top, and it kind of caramelizes on the bottom.
Ooh, okay.
So it's super easy to do, and everybody's, wow, look at that, that's really neat. So that's another option to do, and it's really super easy because you don't have to stand and cook it.
Yeah.
You just stick it in the oven.
All right, GCC families, you just got 2 recipes for the price of 1 in this video. So good. Let's look at these sticks.
So they're not cooking as fast as I want because I didn't realize that I turned it down.
Well, that's okay. So Beth, you have some that are already made.
I do
so
have
can
some
you
that
show
are,
us
sure.
what this will look like? We're gonna pull like a Good Morning America when they show you. Ooh, let's get
So
that.
this
Oh
is
my
what it
goodness.
looks like when it's done.
I wish you could smell it. It smells so good.
And we're
so
gonna
to get to this, how long do we need to cook this?
It's about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
So about 5 minutes on each side.
5
But
minutes
you
on
want
each
to
side.
you want to double check and make sure that you kind of look at it, make sure it's not getting too dark. And and then that's how it ends up. And when I'm serving like the kids, I'll put it in our oven at 200 degrees, and that's not going to cook it anymore, but it's going to keep it warm.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Beth, for this new installment of Tasty Tuesdays, and we'll see you next week.
I'm loving it. Can't wait till next week. Take care.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Oh, and please tell us what suggestions you have for recipes, guys, because Ms. Grimm can make so many good things. So, thank you all.
Thank you.